Welcome to Grip Lock Foundation's weekly disc golf podcast. I'm Trevor, joined today by Konner.
Hello.
Hunter is gone again. He just left us. He went on vacation.
He left from the beach to go to the beach.
Typical Hunter stuff. So it's just us today. We don't even have Silas, so it's just going to be the two-man squad. We got a lot to talk about today, though. We're going to recap.
Last time it was just the two of us. I think that it went down in history as the best Grip Lock episode ever.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Everybody in the comments loved us.
Loved it. Anyways, we're going to recap the Sula Open that went down. We're going to talk a little bit about the President's Cup. We're not going to preview the European Open because that's going to happen later this week. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the Euro Tour situation that's been brought to my attention. We're going to talk a little bit about our Charleston trip. We can't spoil anything, but we can talk a little bit about the courses and everything. We're going to have some trivia. It's going to be great.
And we're going to fact check every single thing we say.
So smart. And yes, and before we do all that, though, we're going to have a quick word from our friends over at Manscaped. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Got bush? You definitely do if you haven't tried our best products from our sponsor today, Manscaped. Taking control of your bush is important. These products are so good, you're going to be showing pride in your brand new bush-free yard. Save big and be the most hygienic version of yourself by using our discount code GRIPLOCKED for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. The grooming package I highly recommend is the Performance Package 4.0. Inside the package is a Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is the bush's worst nightmare. This trimmer is designed to reduce grooming accidents and shave hair on loose skin thanks to the ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology. You got no need for night vision goggles. This trimmer has an LED light to allow you to mow the lawn in the dark. The second best tool in the performance package is the Weed Whacker. This fine-tuned nose and ear hair trimmer will make sure your nasty nose hairs are under control. You can also instantly add some pep in your step with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Spray-On Toner. With the Performance Package purchase, you also get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag with the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped Boxers. You get the Shed Travel Bag and the Boxers, and the Boxers are amazing, by the way. I could have used them this past week. I didn't have them in Charleston. It hurt. They also have a bunch of other products on their website to help you maximize your confidence and grooming game. Just remember, you're going to get 20% off plus free shipping with our code GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with our code GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. Make sure to check it out. All right, so we're going to start with the PCS Sula Open. This was in Norway. That's how they say it, right?
Yeah.
Norway. This is the first.
That's how it's said.
The first of the European events that we're headed into. This was just a silver series, but still kind of a big deal. The field wasn't crazy strong. A lot of players stayed back and didn't make the trip over to Europe yet, but there were still some notable players that we'll talk about. The event ended up being pretty solid in general. Just to recap, we have the MPO. We had Greg Barsby taking it down.
The Viking himself.
The Viking himself. He finished at 15 under par, but ended up winning in a playoff. So it wasn't outright. He won over Jakob Seramad, or Semerad. I think that's how it would be. It's definitely Jakob. I got that part. I made sure that part was correct. He was also at 15 under. He lost in the playoff to Greg. You then had Jonah Heinonen at 12 under, and then some other notable finishes. Coming in fourth, you had James Conrad at 10 under par. Calvin Heimberg at 8 under par came tied fifth. Kevin Jones tied with Calvin at fifth as well at 8 under par. So those were some of the other notable names there.
So it was not at all an empty field that Greg Barsby beat.
No.
There were notable names there.
No, yeah, Barsby had good players to beat. Just kind of the talk about how it all went. Disc golf park. Basically, they played it was a 4-round event. They played at 2 different courses. They started at Vassett Disc Golf Park and then Overaz Disc Golf Park. Obviously, these are all Scandinavian pronunciations, so I'm sure they're going to be butchered, but that's the English pronunciation version of them. So they started 1 and 2 at Vassett and 3 and 4 at Overaz. Both courses kind of unique to what we've been seeing on the Pro Tour. They're only a par 61 and 62, both of them over 8,000 feet, but a lot shorter than what we've seen. I believe the last few events I checked were well above that distance-wise and in par. Typically on the Pro Tour these days, we're seeing a lot more of like the par 4 and par 5 heavy courses, longer distances. Portland Open was like over 11,000 feet, just for a little bit of reference. So these courses were a bit of a change. It was kind of refreshing to see. I thought they would get shredded just when I first had looked at the courses before the event started. But what happened was, you have that Scandinavian weather was kind of acting up. There was quite a bit of wind, especially in that final round, that was making every shot a bit more perilous. And then also they used really well-placed OB, I thought, especially on the second course. It was tight everywhere, and there was a lot of like little trees around the fairways. Some of the fairways almost reminded me of like an opened up version of what we saw at Idlewild, the previous event, where there's just a lot of like little trees that you could take awful kicks on. I mean, there was a lot of people who were throwing shots right to the middle of the fairway and then kicking way OB. So that is kind of what took down the scoring a bit. You were seeing a lot of fluctuating scores. People that were getting into the tournament. James Conrad came out hot. Playing the course blind, I believe he said, and then kind of fell off. Eric Oakley popped off one round, got into the mix, fell off. But Greg Barsby and Jakob both had pretty solid tournaments overall. They kind of kept their scores up, and ended up being, it was kind of just a 2-horse race at the end there. They went back and forth in the final round. Round started, and Jakob, a younger player, pretty dominant player. You know, he looks like he's had a lot of success looking at his PDGA profile over there in some of the European events. But definitely young, looked a little bit nervy and unpolished early in the round. And so he kind of started off shaky. Greg Barsby came in, had the experience, was able to get things under control and kind of had a lead. But then on the back nine, Jakob started making a ton of birdies, really storming back. Greg Barsby had some slip ups. At hole 13 was a 2-stroke swing where he took a 5 and Jakob took a 3. And that's where things really started to shift. Yeah, it was hole 13. And ended up going to a playoff. But before it got to the playoff, hole 17, Barsby had a throw-in opportunity for birdie. He was running baskets all day. He had made a bunch of like long putts, especially early in the round, to kind of keep himself where he was. And then hole 17, I would say, I mean, he was a good putter, Chuck. I mean, he was probably like 150 away from the basket, throws one, the wind's kind of touching it, but it's right on the basket the whole time, hits slightly high dead center and spits right out of the basket. So there might not even been a playoff.
That would be an electric time to be there.
Yeah. It looked in for everybody. The baskets were honestly kind of a story in that last round because Jakob had like this crazy strong spin putt that he was using the whole round. I don't know if like it was just because of the wind, he was like really putting some oomph on it, but he was like throwing lasers and he spit out hard at least twice I saw. Like, and one of them was like practically a tap in, like just straight off the pole because he threw it so hard. Dang. But yeah, the baskets kind of became their own story. It's so interesting, I think, when baskets get involved, like I feel like lately it's been disc catchers too, because these were disc catchers that were on this course. It's interesting to see like what people take side as far as the commentary team, like what commentary teams take side of the players, and some are like, which ones will like admit that the putt wasn't perfect. Yeah. Because we've always had the discussion for so long on like what is a perfect putt and what isn't, and these ones, I don't know. The Barsby throw-in might have been the most criminal. It was just a little bit high though, so it's like, I don't know. Do you think baskets like need to be better? Because I feel like they do.
I feel like we've been hearing a lot about baskets this year. Yeah. And that makes me think that,
well, not even just the baskets themselves, but what they're wrapping around the bottom of them has become a thing. Yeah,
that's very true. I don't know. I definitely share the opinion of baskets should be more consistent. As in, like, not just, like, obviously baskets working better would be great, too. But as in, like, from tournament to tournament on the Pro Tour, they should be using the same baskets.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty unprofessional that there's a different style basket at each Pro Tour stop.
Yeah, I think it makes complete sense. And I think, even the pros agree with this. I want to say Drew Gibson said something about it not too long ago. But it's no secret that even if there are imperfections in a basket, we can, like, the Pro Tour would be able to learn them if it was the same basket every week, and they'd be able to adjust and be like, okay, I know that kind of putt isn't going to go in, that one's not going to catch, because at this point I feel like it's like learning a whole nother language when you're like trying to figure out how each basket works. And because because I've played them all now, or most of them, and it's like, okay, on a Prodigy basket, you want to go hard dead center. Like some of the other baskets will catch the edge really well, like the Mach X's.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like a Mach 5, you just kind of pray that it goes in.
What is you're playing a tournament?
Yeah.
What baskets are you wanting to play into?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I've always been like, disc catchers to me are always the ones I'm most confident putting at. But they also have some of the worst spit throughs and spit outs of any basket. It's just it's less rare, but when it happens, it literally just happened to me during Foundation versus the Nation. Yeah. I went directly through the basket pro
that
side.
That was a tough one, but that wasn't a. That was
a disc catcher. That was one of the ones that was an actual disc catcher.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Because there were some 10 baskets on that course.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, those baskets, and I've seen it happen a lot where they just get ones where it either gets vertical and spits straight through, or they just shoots them right out, and like pretty good putts. So it's tough for me to say. I mean, Mach X's are really good, but I think they're too good. I think that like
as in they catch too much.
Yeah, they catch too many putts
because you don't want
throws.
the basket to be too forgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I've always. Honestly, at the pro level, like I've always been in favor of either taking the circle outwards or shrinking the basket. I think putting should be harder at the pro level because I think they've gotten really good on like step putts are like so unfair. But
I always feel like I have the least amount of problems with the Discraft with the chain stars.
The chain stars.
I feel like I have few problems with them.
Yeah, the newer chain stars. I mean,
like think about New London.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever felt like there was a problem with those baskets.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess chain stars. I don't know. I don't usually think about them, but because they're not quite as common. But especially the new version.
Yeah,
because the old ones over there at Falling Creek. I mean, we've seen some pretty bad ones on those. But yeah, I think those are definitely solid baskets. I don't know. I think disc catchers have always been the perfect combination. Like they just look very hittable to me. Like they always, I always feel confident putting on them.
I think that for some reason, I don't really have a good reason for this, but I always get excited about veteran baskets.
Oh, see, that's.
Oof. I know that's really weird, but for some reason, whenever I look at a veteran basket, I feel the most like it feels like I'm going to make the putt. I don't know.
You must have good history on them because people hate veteran baskets.
I don't know. They just feel big. They feel big to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought they seem kind of. I mean, it looks different to everybody's eyes.
Yeah, it's all perspective.
At the end of the day, though, I do think that the Pro Tour should open. I mean, for me, it's almost a no-brainer because, I mean, they have to.
And then you just sell a basket sponsor for the entire year,
right? So like you have
because it could change year to year. I bet. I think I'd be okay with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could do a bid for like a certain amount of years too, like whatever. I think they should probably whatever they do, they should do at least 3 years to like. Give it some time, but it is. I guess it's one of those situations where maybe, obviously, they're worried about the logistics of traveling, like taking baskets with them. But I feel like there should be quite a bit of money in a basket sponsorship. Like, although maybe as a basket company, you don't want to because maybe you don't want to be that person because. Let's say you're Innova, you buy that right, and now your basket is the only one
being
out there
every week.
Exactly. So every week, people are only going to see the spit outs on your baskets.
But also, everybody's only buying your baskets because they know they're the ones they need to practice on, though, because they're the ones on tour.
So it's double-edged sword.
Yeah. You just got to have good baskets.
Yeah. Well, and I really do think that there needs to be more like, you don't really hear about like people developing new baskets and like, the process behind it and like what kind of science is going into it. They kind of just like we put chains in new spots and like probably tested it by throwing discs at it. But like is there really a lot of science going into it? I don't know. But
or if you're Prodigy, you just practice by throwing full power drives into it.
They're like you can drive a Prius into this thing and catch it.
They just strapped a bulletproof vest. It's just chainmail all around the whole thing.
Yeah. And it was baskets are definitely. Yeah, it's gonna happen soon, though. I think it will. I think like enough people have talked about it now that I think the Pro Tour is gonna figure it out. But they were definitely being a little bit frisky. One of the more notable baskets at that course is hole 18. At the second course, hole 18 is on top of a tractor, which is pretty sick. I guess the reason is because
I like
that course used to be on farmland.
Cool.
So it's like kind of paying heritage to that.
That's very cool.
Which is pretty neat. That course, so that both courses were gorgeous. I think every time we get to watch European disc golf at a high level, it's a privilege because the parks out there are just absolutely gorgeous. Disc Golf Park does a really good job with designing courses in the first place, but then the terrain and landscape, it just isn't the same out there. It's just different. They're usually in more remote locations because it's not so bunched in out there. And the courses are just taken care of so well. I mean, this Overa's, I'm gonna butcher that pronunciation every time, but that course that is ranked number 4 in the world, it said the it's pay to play, but the fee translated to US dollars is like $6, I think. Which is for the day.
That's totally fine.
So not bad at all. And I mean, it was just in pristine condition. Like it's just so gorgeous. They had it mowed really well. I mean, you're looking into mountain views all over the place.
That's very cool.
The weather did look pretty choppy though. Everybody was bundled up. It was really weird seeing people dressed that warm because it was pretty cold and breezy out there. But yeah, some other takeaways from the event for the MPO. Kevin Jones, he had a chance to win. He was in it in the last round. He just kind of looked like he has been. I don't want to like turn this into like a Kevin Jones bashing podcast, but he just kind of looked unpolished and just threw some like really bad shots towards the end of the round. His putt just didn't look super confident. And I think it's really starting to frustrate him because, you know, although it's funny, the commentary team I was listening to, they were calling him like the young superstar. I feel like there's like a disconnect between like the guys that follow the Euro Tour probably because like they don't realize Kevin Jones like is not really doing so hot lately.
Yeah.
Other really important thing, especially for this podcast, is the trophy was. I'll be darned if it isn't the coolest trophy in existence in disc golf. It was an axe, and you gave him a shield as well.
Sick.
But the axe looked like authentic. It looked like I saw a picture of Greg Barsley holding it like face on, so you could see the edge of the blade, and I was like, that could kill somebody. Like,
I wonder if it'd be cool if it was made by like a Master Smith or something like that.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if it was. I mean, it was a super cool, really sweet trophy. So nice touch there. He's won a couple cool trophies because he got the hockey jersey at the Minnesota Majestic, which was like really unique, and now he's got the Viking axe. So. Shout out Greg Barsby for getting all the cool trophies. So the other thing with the Sula Open FPO field, we're not really going to talk about because there was only 6 women playing in the FPO division. No notable players from the Pro Tour were there. However, I will mention the top 3. We had, I'm surprised, I guess this is pronounced Anakin. Big Star Wars fans out there. Anakin Steen took first place, followed by Rachel Turton and Katarina Stalazen. This is notable though because the top 2 there both got Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship spots. So spots were up for grab and they were able to qualify. Sweet. So yeah, that was cool. I'm honestly surprised none of the women from the Pro Tour made the trip out there at all. But you know, they're lost because those courses looked sick. Moving on, we're not really going to talk. Like I said, we're not really going to mention anything about the European Open quite yet in this episode of Grip Block because we're going to have a preview show like we typically do. But we are going to talk a little bit about the President's Cup because I feel like the President's Cup has slid underneath the radar a little bit. The President's Cup is essentially like, if you follow golf, it's like the Ryder Cup, or I believe they also have a President's Cup that they do every 2 years. This will be the 10th one ever. It's obviously been a while since the European Open has been hosted. But it's like a point event, kind of special all-star challenge type thing where it's a Team USA versus a Team Europe. I've got the rosters here. Team USA is notably undefeated. Although it's funny because like back in the day, there was always only like 2 European players you knew. Like way back, it would be like, okay, there's UC. And then like a little bit more forward, be like, okay, like Seppo's in there. And then it was like Simon was always like, and KJ, Naibo would like be in there. But the European roster is definitely getting better. I'm going to go ahead and read off the teams so we can kind of, you know, get a preview at it. We have Team USA first. So the captain this year is Big Jeremy Colling.
Nice.
I did vote for him to be the captain, so I was pretty happy that went through. But then we have Katrina Allen, Adam Hammes, Calvin Heimberg, Paul Macbeth, Eagle McMahon, Paige Pierce, Ricky Wysocki, James Conrad. And then there's 2 reserve players, which are Kevin Jones and Kona Starpanis. So it is notable that Kevin Jones, unless there's an injury of some sort, will not get to try and relive the KJ USA nickname. That's tough. That is a tough scene for nicknames. So I open this section of the podcast for you to give him new nickname suggestions.
New nicknames for
Because if you can't be
Kevin
KJ
Jones.
USA, that's tough.
How about? Well, I think that DJ KJ is an obvious one.
I was gonna say. I think that's
a smooth transition because it's been very relevant lately.
Yeah.
So DJ KJ will be a good one.
not quite as like cool necessarily. Like having USA in your nickname.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty intense. That's basically
That
on
is
level
intense.
on par with Captain America. But I think it's gonna have to be DJ KJ.
It's gonna have to be DJ KJ.
So if he can get the memo and start switching that over with his kind of branding, he's gonna need to apparently. Unless somebody gets hurt, you never know. But Team Europe this year, we have Captain KJ Nybo.
Oh yes,
Yeah, pretty electric.
That's great.
We then have Nicholas Antia, Lori Lettinen, Simon Lazat, Vino Makela.
Oh, so Simon is playing for Europe then.
Yeah. I don't know how that works with
That's
like
crazy because he
citizenship.
is a U.S. resident.
Well, the interesting thing, I don't know. I mean, I doubt the rules are that sophisticated for this. They're probably like, oh yeah, you're born in Germany, of course you can play for.
Or they're
Team
just like, oh,
Germany.
you want to? That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Like Paul could probably play for Team Europe if he wanted to. But like in soccer, the way it works is a lot of players are born in one country, but then will get citizenship in another country because they played there for so long, and usually. You have a choice whether to play for your birth country or wherever your citizenship is. It happens notably a lot. There's a lot of decisions usually made around the U.S. team because obviously we're the melting pot country. So there are a lot of players who were born in the U.S. Or born elsewhere and then moved to the U.S. young, or even born in the U.S. but then moved elsewhere to play really young. So there's like a lot of decisions of like, ooh, should I play for the USA team or whatever teams. Sometimes there's Spain. We have guys from our team from Spain, the Netherlands, like a bunch. So same rules apply to disc golf, I'm sure. But Evelina Salonen also on the team, Albert Tam, Kristen Tatar. This guy just played in the event. His name is Knut or Nut. It's KNUT Valen Holland from Norway.
Maybe Newt,
maybe. Yeah, let's go with that. But just took 12th at the Sula Open, so pretty solid player. And then it has Seppu as a reserve and Henna Blumroos.
I love Seppo
as a reserve as well. So that roster, like I remember even the last European Open, there was only a few names you recognized, and the other ones you kind of been like, oh yeah, I've heard that name before. But this like is a pretty stacked team.
Yeah, for sure.
So the way these players were each selected is basically the captain was selected by vote, and then there'd be 2 women based on the year-end UDisc World Rankings, 4 men based on those year-end rankings. Then there would be 1 man based on the fan vote, 1 man selected by a team captain, and then another woman and man reserve player selected by year-end rankings. So that's kind of how everybody was picked. And then for the format, it's kind of a unique format. There's going to be 2 kind of 9-hole sections. There's going to be a stroke play and a match play. But the way they're doing it, it looks like they're playing a loop. So because they need 2 9-hole sections. They're doing holes 1 through 3, 9 through 11, and 16 through 18. Yeah. So I guess they just kind of picked out those spots that they like the most. But those are the holes they're going to do for both stroke play and match play. They're going to be playing those 9 holes. And the way it's going to work for the stroke play is there's going to be groups, and then there's going to be lowest score of the group gets 4 points. Second lowest gets 2 points. Third 1 point. Fourth 0 points, and then ties split the points. And then match play, if you win your match, you get 3 points. A tie, you each get 1.5, and so on and so forth. So there's going to be 52 points available for the President's Cup, and 26.5 points are required to win the President's Cup, obviously, more than half. Very much a Ryder Cup format if you're familiar with golf, but I just wanted to bring attention to this because, like I said, I think a lot of people are maybe not even remembering that this is a thing that exists, but it's like really one of the coolest events in our sport that does have a good bit of history. They've been doing this since 2006. It's a lot of fun to watch. You're gonna get to see. This is like, if there's a time to watch match play golf, this is it. It's so rare to get a chance to, like, you know, obviously these disc golfers are out there on the road and they're kind of just playing, you know, for their companies that they represent, but really just to make their own living out there. You know, it's a really, like, you know, dog eats dog world in the disc golf tour, but this is a time where they get to don their country or their continent and, like, play for their nation essentially. And, like, that's such such a rare thing in sports, and it's such an honor, and, like, there's a lot of pride behind it, and I think it's just gonna be, it's a really entertaining event to watch. I'd highly recommend looking up some previous events if you haven't. It's just super cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. But since we've been talking so much about kind of the European tour, I wanted to get into it a little bit. We actually got an email from a guy. Let me see if I can pull up his name here. Greg Snell. So he's a Canadian disc golfer living in Germany. And I guess we had kind of mentioned the Euro tours before on the podcast, but we don't really know much about it because we don't, you know, we've got a lot to follow just with the Pro Tour and what's going on here that we don't really get to a chance. Like, we know that the European disc golf scene is a big thing, and, like, we know that there's some tours going on there. But he said at the moment they have 2 separate Pro Tours operating on the continent, both in their inaugural season. So you have the Euro Pro Tour, which is run by the PDGA, and the European Pro Tour, which I guess is its own entity or run by somebody else. And he's saying there doesn't seem to be any media coverage on how these 2 tours are different or why there's even 2 Pro Tours in the first place. It seems like we're repeating a recent past where the U.S. had both a national tour and a disc golf Pro Tour. He said it seems a bit counterproductive. I'm interested to hear your take.
Interesting.
So my thing is, having 2 tours is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you saw how it worked out with the Pro Tour, which was the better tour eventually won out and just absorbed the other one. And that's how this usually works in sports. Then they're going to get too much power for the wrong reason, and then you're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
And if one tour is being run by the PDGA, you know, that's a bit alarming because, like, you know, we saw what happened with the national tour. It eventually fizzled out. So I think the foundation approach to this, naturally, since we don't know anything about these tours, you know, this is new to us, and we're kind of new to the Euro Tour. Maybe we're gonna have to start doing like a Euro Tour section of the podcast. I was like, well, let me go to both their websites, look around, and then I think we have to decide which Euro Tour we're gonna back.
Okay, just off of first reactions to whatever you read on their websites.
Yeah, just like first reactions.
I love that. I love first reactions.
And then if we pick the wrong one that's like somehow has a dirty money past or something, very live golf style, then I apologize, and you can inform us in the comments and tell us why. You got to convince us why we need to switch to the other Euro Tour.
Yeah.
All of our European listeners out there. So we're going to start with the PDGA Euro Tour first. This one's actually called the Euro Tour. Cool name.
I like that. I like the short and simple.
Not much going on in their website about us page, so we'll see how that comes back. I feel like if you're a European tour and you're like want to gain some American fan base, like, you should probably have a pretty good about us page.
Does not look very exciting.
So it says
because we don't know, so we need to know about you.
Exactly. The PDGA Euro Tour is a highlight disc golf tour in Europe. Governed by Professional Disc Golf Association Europe. It is third professional disc golf tour in the world and first outside the USA. Not even really complete sentences there. Not great. But
I mean, I have to say, like, as an American, like, I don't like the phrase governed by the PGA. You know what I mean? Like, as an American, so.
Oh, so
that's a negative there.
The tournament schedules.
I sound so ignorant right now.
So they played in Croatia, then Scotland, then Denmark, Sweden, Latvia, Finland, Estonia, Norway, and Belgium. So that is cool. I do like
a lot of cool places.
I do like that they really went all over Europe. But there's not really a lot to be found out other than the fact that it's governed by. I mean, the logo is like kind of Jomez Pro-y. Hold on, let me find it for you.
I feel like I'm looking at soccer, but it's just because of the other flags.
That's their logo. It's not great.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a little boring.
I don't like it. I don't like the logo.
Yeah, so
that's it. I'm putting my foot down. Don't
well,
like the
maybe
logo.
I should see who their partners are. Maybe they have like some really cool
Just so everybody knows, this is visceral reactions to this. So
No, this is
I'm purposely just judging it off of the little bit of information I know.
This is it. I'm not seeing anything exciting there. Okay, on to the next one. We are going. This is the European Pro Tour.
Sounds nice.
Not as cool as Euro Tour,
but not as cool.
I like Euro. That's a fun word. European is like, it's peeing, you know?
Yeah.
But
it has P in the word.
Right. But the...
that's tough. That's a tough one.
The About Us page on this one is a bit more detailed. I do promise that whichever tour it becomes like the tour over there, like once they can figure it out and like choose one, then we're
all in.
We'll get all in, but we're gonna really back
we're gonna
one
be like,
today.
this one's so much cooler. It's got the word P in it.
Yeah. European Pro Tour, it says EPT, the elite level. The European Pro Tour is a new standard for top level disc golf events in Europe. Primary mission is to create a stage for the best disc golf athletes to show off their skills in Europe. To achieve this, the European Pro Tour events we played at the best courses in Europe and are organized by experienced local crews with the help of years of experience from EPT organization. Still seeing some that's clearly was not written in English type evidence.
Some translation stuff going on.
Yeah. So this is what they have. They've got elite level events. They've got first class venues with challenging courses, high quality multi-camera live coverage from all events. That's impressive.
Yeah.
MPO and FPO divisions with rating based and staged registration. So this is like a mock DGPT basically. At least 5,000 euros added cash in every event. Tour bonus payout. Monday qualifier events for local heroes to grab a spot for the main event.
I like that.
That's fun.
Cool.
Invitations to the EPT All-Stars event for best players. That made me excited. And also
there's just more information there to be excited about.
What I'm now realizing is that this is seemingly like literally we have a mirror of the national tour. Like that looked kind of national toury to me, and the DGPT. So like, is that really just like the same thing is happening in Europe that happened here?
Maybe
there's like a little behind. I don't know. So this is their events. They played in Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Estonia, Finland again, and Spain for the All-Star event. So that's pretty electric.
I like to see a course in Spain.
In Spain? Yeah. I would think so. That would be pretty sick.
It just sounds cool.
But
I mean, that's an obvious answer right there. That I like that they said the way that we do that is by, and they explained, like, they basically put an argument as to, like, this is why this tour is so good. And meanwhile, the Euro tour was like, we are the Euro Tour, basically.
What I will say is the Euro Tour, the PCS Open was part of the Euro Tour. So that was like a crossover between the Pro Tour and the Euro Tour.
Oh, interesting.
So as the Pro Tour taking sides.
The Pro Tour and the Euro
Because
Tour?
the Pro Tour was a silver series.
The US Pro Tour.
Yeah,
gotcha.
it was a silver series, and also it was technically a Euro Tour event. I will say I love that. I wish more players would play. I hope the Euro Tour gets big, because in golf, right now it's called like the DP World Tour, but it's the European Tour in golf. Like, you'll see players cross over to play events sometimes, and like it's really fun seeing unique courses that you don't normally get to see. So I like the partnership going on. It's interesting. I'm guessing the PDGA tie to the Euro Tour is what led the Sula Open Silver Series kind of collab going on, because the PDGA and the Pro Tour are already kind of in cahoots.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I guess best of luck to the European Pro Tour. I guess now if we choose to back the European Pro Tour, we're taking kind of a stand. And that's tough.
I like taking stands.
I know you do, but I'm scared.
Ooh,
do they both have merch? Because that could be huge.
Ooh, that's really big.
That's huge. Okay, hold on. There's a shop for this one. I saw it at the bottom of the screen. This is big. So this is the store. Okay.
Are they just? Oh, I want a disc. I want a European tour.
Well, if all they have is stamped discs, that's not very cool.
But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
I think that's all they have.
But it's kind of cool. What is this? The European?
This is the European Pro Tour.
This is the PN Pro Tour?
They have some custom stamped discs, it looks like. I'm not seeing merch, though. Let's see. But does the Euro Tour have merch? I don't.
If they do, it's gonna have that logo on there. I don't like the logo.
I don't see any. So that is tough.
If you designed the logo and you're listening to this, I do apologize.
It is important to mention
I love it.
that Jakob, who just took second at Sula, is number 1 right now in the Euro Tour over Thomas Gilbert, apparently.
Okay.
So I guess he is pretty dominant. But yeah, I mean, I think we might have to stand up for the European Pro Tour.
I'm going European.
Here's what I want. Here's what I want to hear from the European listeners and anybody who's like really in tune with this scene, because obviously we're not. I mean, this was just brought to our attention. We don't usually cover this, but how do you feel about the tours going on? Give us like the rundown of each one and like why each one is good and bad, and which one you hope it reigns supreme. Because
is it like a rivalry? You know,
I'm sure there is.
I want to hear about it. Like, what's the stigma? What's the stigmatism towards each side? You know,
there's gonna be supremacy eventually for one of them. Like that's just how this has to work, right? Like we can't have.
I stand for the European tour. They've been good to me. They've always been good to me.
Okay. Maybe they'll fly you out to the Spain All-Star event in November if you talk them up enough.
That would be very cool. Well, I don't even know how to talk them up more than I am right now. I think that they're the best tour in existence.
It says, even though it's in November, don't be fooled by November. This event takes place in the translated English, the sunny coast, where summer is present all year round.
Ooh.
I mean,
that's beautiful.
All those signs are pointing to the European Pro Tour versus the Euro Tour, but I just, I feel like I need to hear from the people that are more involved than myself. But with that being said, I do back them fully and will die before I change that opinion. But anyways, moving on from the
if there's ever like a civil war going on over there between the two, like we will fight.
Yeah,
Trevor and I will be the drummer boys front line.
We can probably draw up some pretty good like media propaganda for one of the sides.
Definitely.
If we have to. I'd imagine.
I think we should just start doing that.
Probably. give us enough. We'll run with it. But moving away from Europe back to the home of the brave, back to the American soil. We were in Charleston.
Yep.
The Holy City.
It was hot.
It's called that, right?
It was humid. It is called the Holy City. I'm not sure. Do you know why?
Nope. I just saw it on a lot of billboards.
I saw it on a lot of billboards as well.
We were there for a whole week. Basically we hosted an event that our fearless leader and boy genius Hunter Thomas came up with. Everybody just met that idea with just astounding support as soon as it was announced. It was called the Creators Cup. It was the first annual Creators Cup.
First of its kind.
Yeah. So never been done ever. In disc golf, true.
Yes, first of its kind in disc golf.
So we basically invited a bunch of other disc golf YouTubers down to Charleston. I know you've probably been seeing stuff on social media about it. We're not going to spoil anything because the videos are going to be rolling out this week.
Yep.
So you're
tomorrow.
You're going to start.
And the next day.
And the next day. Yeah. So you're going to see a lot of different content from different YouTubers surrounding that trip. It was a ton of fun hanging out with them. We also opened a store down there. If you're near Charleston, make sure to check that out. It's really cool.
Yeah, Foundation Charleston. So two owners, sweetest guys. So awesome.
Big,
love them.
Yeah, everybody we met down there was awesome.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so we can't really spoil anything, but I'd like to ask a few questions to you about the Charleston trip. Number one question being, let's do it. I think we should do a power ranking of the courses that we visited. I know you didn't play all of them, but at least you definitely got an idea of all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
So the courses that we went to while we were there, we went to this one called Park Circle a lot. We went to a private course called SOAC. We went to Trophy Lakes, and we went to one that's called Naval Weapons because it's at a Navy base. I believe that's it.
Yep. I'm ready for my ranking.
Okay, go ahead.
Should I start from the bottom?
Yeah, definitely.
Bottom is going to be Naval.
Okay.
Good course. It just felt like a local course.
Yeah.
It was a very, very good local park course.
Yes.
That's what it felt like. That's all I have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually gave me a very, very Charlotte vibes. Very tight wooded holes.
Okay.
That were like shorter holes.
Yeah.
And then next I'm going to have to say Park Circle. I liked Park Circle. If I lived near there, like everybody else that lives there,
yeah.
If I lived there, I'd play it a lot.
Yeah, everybody plays Park Circle.
Very
it's the most
easy to play
course I've ever seen.
It's super unique. Should we kind of explain
Yeah.
what it was? So basically, there's this huge roundabout traffic circle.
It's probably like
massive.
a quarter mile or a half mile.
It's 0.3 miles
to go around it.
Yes,
okay.
It's 0.3 miles to go around the whole traffic circle, I believe, is what it said. And this disc golf, so the center is all fenced up because they're building something there right now.
Yeah, like a $20 million development project.
But on the outside of the circle, there is a disc golf course that plays around the entire road. That is the traffic circle. So there's like different islands of land, and each hole is basically on a different island. Some islands have 2 holes. And so between almost each hole, you're walking across the street to the next island. And it's a miracle that hundreds of people don't die a day out there.
It is wild. You're literally crossing a busy road like
and
every
if
hole.
that drive is on your commute to work, your insurance should be more expensive because
and yet somehow
we didn't see a single car get hit by a disc.
Yeah.
At one point, Hunter threw this forehand, and I swear if this guy looked out of his passenger window, he would see a disc flying next to his car because he threw this forehand that went over the road, and they rode together side by side parallel for like 50 feet, and then the forehand faded and the car kept on going.
Pretty
obviously
incredible.
It was awesome, but it was a fun course. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of vibes at Park Circle.
I don't really have any problems with it.
It was fun because
no bad holes.
Yeah, it was just like it's a good time course. It's really short and easy, but like you're never gonna not have fun playing disc golf there.
So that's gonna be my number 3. I have a very hard time between Trophy Lakes and SOAC. Mm-hmm. So me and Trophy Lakes have a lot of nostalgia. It's my favorite course in the world. Not because it's the best course in the world, just because it's like a tradition for my family to whenever we go visit Charleston, which is frequently, for me, my dad, and my brother-in-law to go play Trophy Lakes. Absolutely love that course. But SOAC, I'm a huge fan of. It was awesome. And I loved the community around SOAC a lot. The course design, I felt like it was a very well-designed course. I think I'm going to have to go, and I'm basing this off of the fact that at Trophy Lakes, you have Trophy Lakes whites and blues. Never mind, I'm swapping it. I'm saying Trophy Lakes 2, I'm going SOAC 1.
Okay. That's
because course-wise, if I'm just going to play the course,
yeah,
I'm choosing Trophy Lakes. I think Trophy Lakes is more fun to play. Also, you can choose between whites, which is an easy course that's very fun, and you still play some intense water holes. It's super cool. Or blues, which will kick your freaking butt and make you put your tail between your legs very easily, but is super fun as well, though. Very, very fun. Just the course, I'm choosing that. But I can't just choose course. I have to go with the actual... I can't just go with the holes. I have to go with the whole course.
Yeah.
And I think the community between the two, SOAC has such a good community around it, and the people that run that course are passionate about disc golf.
Yeah.
While at Trophy Lakes, it's not a disc golf compound.
No.
It's a skiing lake.
It's not
and there's
super
these
well
water
kept.
things that go on, and so all the money that they get in does not go to the disc golf course.
Yeah.
It's still an incredible disc golf course. Again, I will still continue to play there at least once a year, but I'm gonna have to go SOAC because also Carson's uncle, Greg, is that his name?
Yeah.
That runs the whole course.
Greg Cole, yeah.
Super nice guy, and they've got such a great community of just such friendly people out there. I don't think that could be beat. So.
Well, I actually worked out because mine would have been exactly the same. I thought that Trophy Lakes from the whites was like fine. From the blues was a really, really tough course, but super well designed. But SOAC for me was more fun, and I am always going to bias a little bit more for the amount of fun I have at a course, and I had more fun at SOAC. Just more like a lot of the Trophy Lakes to me was a little bit repetitive. It was like, okay, low ceiling, you have a choice to clear the water or lay up. Some of the water carries were a little bit more unique, and that's mostly because the property is kind of repetitive because it's indent of water. It just goes like that. Yeah. But it was a good course, but SOAC was it's always fun seeing private disc golf properties. If you're ever in the area, you have to contact Greg to get on that course, but I would highly recommend trying to because it's very good, and they're still working on it. They're still fine-tuning things and fixing things
and they're
up.
very passionate about it. And whenever people are passionate about something, it makes me passionate about something.
Yeah, and that course at SOAC, is only taking up 45 acres of the 120, and they're going to put another one on there. So that'd be cool. But yeah, Charleston in general was an amazing time. I think everybody's going to really enjoy the content. You're going to get to find out who won the first annual Creators Cup.
Yep.
There's
a lot of good content.
It was absolutely thrilling. Yeah, all the creators are awesome. Oh, my other question was, which creator surprised you the most talent-wise?
Talent-wise?
Like how good they were at disc golf. Because I think everybody there, like all the creators towards us and towards other people, were all like surprised at people.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like you take them out of their setting on YouTube. Like for us, a lot of people like, especially for Hunter, who is really good in a tournament setting. People are like, wow, you take him away from like the funny disc golf and like the guy can really play.
I think everybody was very surprised by Hunter.
Yeah. But then
just because Hunter and Trevor don't always look like they're that great at disc golf in the videos because we're doing silly stuff.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden it gets real. But yeah. And then going the other way, like there was a lot of creators that like I didn't know like how good they were because like I've never seen them in person and it's tough to know on YouTube. So who was like my surprise I think was Robbie C.
So I've got. Do you have anything to say about that?
Robbie C is really solid, and like because I knew Molt was like pretty good, so he didn't surprise me with how solid he played. And everybody else, I don't think like anybody shocked me. But Robbie C is pretty legit. He knows what he's doing out there. I didn't know he had the ultimate background, and that's a game changer. People who have the ultimate background are good. Yeah.
So I was going to say, first of all, I was surprised by a lot of people. I was not surprised by Molt. I knew he was good.
Yeah.
So he played as I expected him to, which is just really good. He's very good. Danny Lindahl, one of the smoothest throws I've ever seen.
Yeah, not surprised by Danny.
So smooth.
Because I knew Danny would be good.
Yeah, he was very good. But the people I was surprised by, Chantel, Miss Frisbee's.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best putters there.
Yeah.
She was an incredible putter. Whenever we watched, she made some insane putts. David from Apollo Disc Golf.
Yeah, he was sneaky good.
He was sneaky good.
Yeah.
He was very sneaky good. I think he was kind of under the radar, but he was sneaky good. And then who else am I thinking of? I knew Mikey from Overthrow could throw far. I play with him often, so like he didn't surprise me at all. But I think my overall answer is Robbie C.
Yeah.
Because I kind of thought Robbie C's playing was more sporadic, and like I knew he was really good at teaching disc golf, but also I kind of assumed the position of those who can't teach.
Yeah. No, his knowledge of disc golf surprised me as well.
All the videos that he makes of like shot selection, disc selection, getting out of your head, he does it actively on the course. Like it's because he's figured it out. That's why he makes videos about it.
Yeah.
And like you see him do that, and it's like he's crazy. And also he cannot miss a putt.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
You're good. Yeah. Creators Cup. We had a lot of talent there.
It was some of the most exciting rounds of disc golf I've ever filmed.
Yeah, very close, very epic. You're gonna want to watch it, so be looking.
And obviously
forward to
a bunch of disc golf YouTube personalities. So it was
all
the energy was
Yeah.
electric.
A lot of energy,
a lot of shouting.
Every video that comes from this Charleston trip is gonna have some insane.
I mean, we were the
levels.
least outgoing people there.
The crowds were pretty
straight
crazy.
up. We were the least outgoing people there.
Yeah,
and so that tells you anything.
Be prepared for that.
Yeah.
It was pretty nuts.
You're gonna need to take a shot of Monster before you watch those videos just to match the energy.
They're gonna be tough to beat. But we're gonna go ahead and finish up now with some trivia. We're gonna play Price is Right because I know it's one of your better games.
I do. I like the Price is Right a lot.
So today I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different discs. I'll give you a price range because I think that makes it more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
These ones range from $50 to $150.
Okay, it's not too bad.
And let's see. What are if in that price range, 6 different discs? Like on average, how many points do you think you should be able to stay within to win? Like, so just give yourself an average per disc of dollar amount that you should stay within. And then,
average per disc?
Right, and then we'll just multiply that by 6, and that'll be your total.
Oh, 50 to 150. I would hope I can get within 50.
Yeah, that'd be a little too easy.
Let's just say like, what's not too easy?
I feel like 15
All right, that's what I was gonna say.
would
15.
be tough. Yeah. So let's say so you're gonna get 90 is your forgiveness. Is
Okay.
What you get for
Okay,
all
okay,
6
okay.
discs. That's gonna be really tough.
That's really tough. I'm okay.
Let's
with
make
it
it an even 100,
All right.
and let's see how far you get into it.
Yeah.
So the first item on the list, we have a brand new 2012 one-time world champion Rock 3. This one in particular had a little bit of fly dye on it, although I don't know how it really matter with the value.
One-time world champ Rock 3. Never thrown.
Never thrown. Brand new.
Not as much as it should be worth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $55.
It was $50. So that was very, very good. Good start. Only $5 lost there. That was a great start.
I was gonna say 50, but I wanted to be a little more absurd and say 55.
That was a great start. Next, we have a brand new 2020 Tour Series Z Luna. These were like the Swirl Z ones.
$75.
72. Wow. Dream start. Dream start right now.
I feel very confident about both of those.
Oh my gosh. That was insane. I was like, what, did you see it or something?
I promise you I didn't see it.
Gracious. Well, you're only 8. I mean, you're well on your way now. Next, we have a brand new Cloudbreaker 3. Now, these are the newest ones they just did, so they're in the Latitude plastic. One I threw into Texas pond.
50 to 150.
Yeah.
I don't think these are going to be worth that much because they're going to make more, obviously.
Yeah.
But so I said 50. So we already had 50 and we had 72. I'm going to put this one somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go 65.
$60.
I'm on fire right now.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
This is impressive. You only got 3 to go.
Are you joking me?
No.
Okay.
You only got 3 to go.
It sounds like a typical prank
No,
here.
it's not a prank. If it was, I'd be saying you got them all right because that'd be way more funny.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
Next, we have a 2020 brand new Saki Bomb Pro Pig.
Saki Bomb Pro Pig, worth a little more because he's not with Innova anymore. So Saki Bomb Pro Pig, $100.
It was $75.
That one hurt
You're
me.
okay
a
though.
little more.
You're at $38 and you have 2 to go.
I really felt like I couldn't say one that I already said, but that doesn't make any sense. They could be the same amount of money.
Next, we have a brand new S-Line P2 with the Paul Macbeth 3-time signature on there.
Ooh.
With the Innova penned with the Innova
P2.
factory.
So if it was any other original Discmania, I would probably be disappointed with how little. But since it's a P2 and everybody's hyped about the P2, I think this one could be valued properly. I don't think it's 50. I think it's somewhere between 70 and 120. And I'm going to stick with $100 to be safe.
It's $135.
Okay. That's
So,
not awful.
No, 1 disc to go, and you're at 73 right now, which means if my math is correct, you have 27 of forgiveness.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
All right.
This last item is a brand new S-Line PD with the Freak stamp. For all the marbles.
$85.
It was $60.
Oh.
So you win.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, you had 27 of
Oh,
forgiveness.
yeah. So
98.
yeah,
you stayed under 100. That was incredible.
We started off real hot there.
Well, I mean, wow. That was impressive. I think you are really good at, like, all the games we play on here. You do dominate the Price is Right. You play very well.
I like the Price is Right with every category in life. I just enjoy it.
Maybe
I don't think I've ever watched the show The Price is Right, but I think I should go on it.
Maybe. Are they still running Price is Right? I don't even know.
I don't know, but I want them to bring it back.
I used to watch
for
it
me.
a lot. It's like daytime television.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Grip Block.
I beat Hunter today.
You beat Hunter. Yeah, because you didn't even show up.
That's awesome.
Hopefully you
DNF.
enjoyed. Make sure you're watching. It'll be Wednesday when we do the preview show for the European Open because we got another major coming up. I'm
exciting.
not 100% sure on the watch party situation. If you're interested, because I think... So finish time is 7 hours ahead of us where they're going to be playing the European Open, which I haven't seen. I know that the tee times say the last one's going to be at 3 p.m., and I'm assuming that's their time, not ours. Well, it has to be. So that would mean they'd be teeing off at 10 o'clock at night here. So if you're still interested in a watch party and you want to see Hunter and I, at the very least, with like trying to pump our bodies with caffeine until 2 in the morning, make sure to, I don't know why I explained it like that, because now, of course, everyone wants to see it.
Yeah.
But make sure to comment if you're interested, and please don't lie, because if you say you're interested and you don't show up, we're going to be offended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be offended.
I'm
but
gonna be offended for you.
yeah, so there may be a watch party. That's tentative. But yeah, the major's coming up. Also be on the lookout for all of the content that's dropping this week. There's going to be extra videos, not just on our channel, but on other channels that were involved in the Creators Cup. So you're not going to want to miss that. But other than that, I believe that's it. And hopefully you enjoyed this reduced cast version of Grip Locked. Obviously, it's not the same, but we try to get all the necessary info out to you. And next week, we'll have our precious fearless leader back, Hunter.
Love that guy.
And I mean, and pretty soon he's gonna have a baby, and we're gonna lose him again. So, just buckle up. We'll see you next time.